Good morning. We're out at Brian's this morning and we're doing a mod that I've been looking forward to doing for a long time. A handbrake upgrade. So we all know the 79s are known to have a very weak handbrake. So we've got the Marks adapters transmission handbrake to put in. New discs in the rear, since they're not going to need to do much internally anymore. Got the wheels off. We've got the oil drained. We've got Uncle Brian sitting over there fixing a bent flange. Good morning.
How you going?
Tail shaft will come off and then we'll get into this part of it. Okay, so first job, flange off, speedo drive. Easy to follow instructions. So obviously the other part of the work that needs to be done is all the old handbrake parts to be stripped out of the back of that disc. Okay, with the caliper off and the disc off, we'll be getting rid of all this. So I'm so happy to know that I'll never have to come in here to clean anything or adjust anything or change shoes in here. And while we've got it all apart, we're going to put genuine discs back on it with new pads. Bit of dirt in there, Brian.
It's like it's done a bit of hard work.
Why?
Hard work.
Wow. 90,000k old truck. Okay, so we've got all the inside part of that all stripped out now. We've cut off this lever, so basically we can put new pads in that, put the new disc on, and that corner's done. Okay, so we've got this all nice and clean. Brian spent a bit of time making sure it's all nice and clean, and we're just preparing the new backing plate now to put on. So we're just pressing the new seal in. Comes in the kit. Would you say, as a qualified mechanic, Brian, this is a pretty easy job?
I think anyone with the tools and determination could do it in their backyard if they just took their time.
Bit of gasket goo. Cover time. So there's two different length bolts that bolt this back cover on.
So the short bolts go into the rear case and the longer ones go around the outside into the front half.
Okay, the discs are in, the pads are in the caliper. We can bolt this up together now. I'm just going to continue stripping all these old handbrake lines though. So just a tip, best way to get that piston to pull back is with a clamp when you are doing new pads. This was the factory flange that you need to now put longer studs in. These are the new ones that come in the Marks kit, and the reason that they need to be longer is obviously they've got to go through that drum as well and then pick up the tail shaft still. Alright, so now what we're doing with the old handbrake cable, we're just working our way from the back forward, undoing all the brackets that the old cable had, all the way up to the bottom of the handle, which you can see through there. So the housing itself doesn't have a longer footprint. Therefore, there's no modification needed to that rear tail shaft. So Marks have thought of it all. All right, the new ones are going in. So clearly, if you didn't have a press laying around at home, you would be able to belt these on, right?
You can do it with a hammer.
You could do it with a hammer, but this is the right way to do it. It's funny because this is a mod I've been looking forward to doing, but it's not going to give me any more wheel travel, any more horsepower, any more towing ability, but it's a part. It's a part, that's right, it won't even let me crawl, but it's a part that I've not had work for a long time. Okay, so now internally we take the boot off the handbrake lever. We need to access the bolts that hold the end of that cable. So there's the new handbrake assembly. Very neat. Alright, now with the assembly in there, the cable's got to be set a particular way. Picks up a couple of the factory mounts. I like how the adjuster's on the side too, not at the bottom. So Brian's got all the cable in, all bolted up to the various points that it needs to be. And then the blue drum goes on. That looks good, eh?
I like it. Stops.
We're at final stage now. It's adjusting up the shoes.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Got the shaft in, back wheels on but not on the ground.
No drag on there.
No drag. We've got a little bit of work to do inside. So we've got the cable all set up on the lever. Wow, 3 clicks. That's just like a new car. 4 clicks.
You can get 4. Yeah.
4 clicks, wow. Okay, so what we're going to do, a little test. I'm going to lock the hubs in. Brian's going to put it in low range, pull the handbrake up, and in theory, that should lock up the whole transfer. Yeah, so, as we thought, that's locked now, but that's in low range with the rear locker in and the hubs locked. So, that's 2 back wheels off the ground. So in the bush, it still will work. It works a treat. I was swinging off those tail shaft nuts there with a spanner to tighten them up, and yeah, I couldn't get it to move. So it's definitely locking up the transmission. Now you're probably saying, well, what about rocks and what about, you know, hitting it on stuff off road? Well, wait till you see this bash plate they've got. What do you think, Brian?
I want one.
You want one? It wasn't too much of a punish install either.
No, we've had worse, haven't we?
We've had plenty worse.
Alright, do you got the U-bolt?
Yeah, I'm going to go get that U-bolt, but that's what it looks like. So it looks like they've allowed for a drain, have they?
They have, yep.
Oh, wow.
Drain that.
Pretty cool. And they've allowed to get the adjuster?
Yep.
Oh, yep, awesome. Alright, I'll go get you that U-bolt, because there's a U-bolt that holds it up to that cross member there. So we're refilling the gearbox and transfer, liquid gold. The proof's in the pudding. This is a pretty decent hill. I never would have attempted this with the original handbrake. Special thanks to my friend Brian for letting us use his residence to do the job and all his knowledge, the special tools that we used on this particular mod. I hope you found it informative and you enjoyed it. And once again, thanks for watching.